Dungeon floor tiles are the final basic component of the online terrain crafting system.
The system from this point is extendable using the different slots on the stage, and I have plenty of videos that will build upon this. But this video will focus on the basic shape and how I put together the dungeon floor tile. However, first we must perform a Quirkeflieg.
Dungeons, dangerous caves, wild wilderness, turbulent hounds, long roads, tags and posts, build your world.
Build it with the DMG. Almost every previous terrain system has a heavy focus on the floor. You use them for map-like layouts, defining the edges of the playable area, and for tactical elements like grids and wall locations.
With the online terrain crafting system, the floor serves two functions: thematic decoration and defining the viewable area.
The viewable area is the most important for the online play component of the system, but you may feel it's not necessary for in-person games.
Well, you would be right if you hadn't considered this key feature.
I have a video that will go into detail about how you can explode your in-person game into an epic big screen adventure and play online with other friends all over the world,
All at the same time.
Be sure to subscribe and ring-a-ding-ding the ding-a-ling-ding-dong. The decoration of the floor helps to set the feel of the scene before you add mise en scène, a collection of Frenchy words meaning placing on stage.
Or more accurately in this context, everything in front of the camera.
The shape of the floor is an isosceles trapezoid with two tabs on either side. The trapezoid shape lets you know exactly where the camera can see,
So you don't have to keep referring to the screen.
The two tabs are for ease of placement and keeping the floor above the understage area. This allows you to add some 3D elements to the floor,
And flip it over and use the other side.
the immediate gain to you is less floor tiles, less required storage space, and quicker scene changes if the floors are contextually related to one another. Dungeon tile, cave tile. The plans for the online terrain crafting system are available on my website, linked in the corner and below this video. I begin by preparing several floor tiles. Not that I need them all right now, but it helps down the line not having to make more for a while. I use cardboard because it's cheap and available everywhere.
But the system was prototyped with foam board, so it will work. The plans allow for both 5 and 7mm material, which is... Forget about that.
I begin to draw a design of some basic patterns for placing flagstones. On top of this, I layer down some translucent or transparent double-sided tape. I just lay down rows of tape as I will be able to see the pattern design through the tape once the backing material is removed. Compressed paper from egg cartons makes for a great textured scale flagstone when cut into smaller squares and rectangles. The material is easy to glue and takes paint really well.
You can usually extract enough from a carton of a dozen eggs for a single floor.
I cut numerous different sizes and shapes to suit the pattern I've designed. I also add some smooth, normal cardstock for the occasional smooth stone to add some variety. You can add some chips, cracks and kinks into the stone if you like, but again, I was lazy. You could even place other materials down to simulate mosaics and other details on the floor, and I demonstrate these sort of techniques in other videos, so you know what to do. I applied a coat of Mac Black spray paint and let it off-gas outside. It's spider season now, so I had to be careful of these things. What you may have noticed is that some of the flagstones lift up a bit. This isn't a problem in this context, as it actually gives the floor more dimensionality, and cannot be easily replicated with textured foam. If you feel it is sticking up too much, you can decanter some PVA glue into a small needle bottle and apply a small amount of glue beneath the raised piece to stick it down.
Essentially, this is the difference between an additive technique and a subtractive technique.
Foam usually requires that you subtract or impact the surface of the material to achieve a texture, and that texture requires the tool applying the texture be a negative of the texture you want to achieve, like a texture roller you might see Blackmagic Craft use. Cardboard usually requires the addition to and adhesion to the surface in order to create texture, like a texture or paint stamp pioneered by DM Scotty.
The rest of the paint job is simple dry brushing and washing.
When opening a new bottle of paint, they're usually packaged with a shrunk plastic. I simply use a blade to score towards the top of the bottle and the plastic comes off relatively easily.
When you use a lot of paint, taking off all this plastic can be super annoying.
I then use Apple Barrel Pewter Grey paint supplied by Plaid and wipe off almost all the paint onto a paper towel. Over the texture of the compressed paper, I then drag the bristles of the brush so the paint slides off onto the raised areas but does not penetrate the recesses of the texture. I mix in Apple Barrel White and apply a lighter dry brush over the top in places, and then Folk Art Yellow Ochre paint to give a sense of torchlight. If you want to create a colder, danker mood, rather use cooler colors like blue or green. I water down Folk Art Pure Black and progressively wash the edges of the Isosceles trapezoid darker and darker to give the sense of the light falling off. This serves a few purposes,
not least of which is to know when the camera is getting near the edge.
The fall off helps to frame the scene a little bit and adds to the illusion of light. I have a video on lighting and the online terrain crafting system, which I'll go into detail about on how to use light and paint techniques to achieve great results. These videos are made possible by people such as yourself who have made purchases or donations on my website, thedmg.info.
I truly appreciate your support. It helps keep this channel growing and the cat food flowing.
He's a big cat. In the next video, I'll show you how to use a simple webcam with the online terrain crafting system. Let me know what you think so far in the argument section below, or join the community in the live video chat on the DMG Info website. There's no downloads, accounts, or sign-ins required for this. On the left is the next video in the series about using a webcam, and on the right is my latest video. In the center, you can subscribe and ring-a-ding-ding the ding-a-ling-ding-dong to get new videos when they go live. Thank you for watching.